What up, YouTube family? So in this video, I'm going to address if you're an agent, can you still wholesale and should you wholesale because of the regulations, the technicality of it, and anything in between. So the reason I decided to jump on live and do this video specifically talking about real estate agents who wants to get into becoming a real estate wholesaler because I got this message from Frank. So Frank followed me on Instagram. He's an agent, and this is what he said, and I'm going to address those issues in this video, and I will share with you why you should also wholesale as a real estate agent. I think a lot of real estate agents don't know what wholesaling is, so they're leaving a lot of money on the table. They're missing out on a bunch of opportunity, and I'm going to share with you so you don't have to miss out on these money-making opportunity ever again as a real estate agent. Okay, so now I am not a real estate agent. I'm just an investor. I don't have a license. All right, been a real estate investor for the past 12 years. I've done from fix and flip. I have 14 rentals. Fix and flip, the worst business to get into. It's a nightmare. I almost lost everything, went bankrupt. I own 14 rentals. I currently been wholesaling for the past 7 years, which means I do it completely virtual. I don't meet the seller. I don't see the property. Everything is all closed and over the phone. I have a team that does it for me and run the whole entire operations. So I'm going to answer this question right now, okay? So here we go.
Right, I get it. You buy it, but I don't have that.
Hold on a second.
Definitely look into it. It's something I've been thinking about for quite some time. And I do have a question for you, though. Since
you guys can hear that, right?
I'm a realtor, and we have a fiduciary duty for our client,
which is
the
true.
Utmost care for them,
which is true. You gotta be for their best interest, which is true.
Is wholesaling kind of against like the realtor duties? Because we want obviously them to make the most amount of money.
True.
On the sale, and also, you know, be transparent. If
everything Frank say is true, because when you become an agent, you got to pass this test, and there's a lot of regulations, laws that's, you know, come along with being a realtor and all of that. So if you do it wrong, dude, it can be a big mess.
Agency, I don't know.
So his concern is valid. That's what I'm saying.
If they conflict with each other, because you don't need a real estate license for wholesaling, but you do for a real estate transaction as far as a realtor or a real estate agent. What are your thoughts on it? I'm curious.
Okay, so Frank is a real estate agent. You guys heard the conversation, okay? I mean, you guys heard. So this is the voice text he texted me over on Instagram. And I haven't done a video like this, I don't know, at all. And I don't know why, but I think a lot of real estate agents, I need to make this video to address this issue, okay? So if you are a real estate agent, okay, your whole thing is obviously, here is what you do. So you need to understand, first off, the answer is yes, you can wholesale as a real estate agent, but there are a couple things that you need to do to make sure that you're not, right, get yourself tangled in a mess. I have students who is an agent, but also a wholesaler. So they are what's called the hybrid. I can't even spell hybrid. All right, so please forgive me. But they're hybrid. They're an agent. They list property. They also wholesale property. Okay? I also have students that strictly get their license just so they wholesale because they want to get access to the MLS. All right? It gives them a little advantage. All right? But in today's world, with all the tools, all the software out there, you don't need to. But the reason he got his real estate agent just because of that, being able to get access to the MLS so he can leverage, right, from it and actually wholesale, you know, a property. So my whole thing is, as a real estate agent, you need to understand that there are sellers, okay? There are sellers, okay, that do not want to list their property on the market. They do not want to list their property on the market. Agree or disagree? If you're an agent, agree or disagree? There are sellers who don't want to list their property on the market because it could have been a hoarder house. Have you been in some of these houses that are hoarders? I've been into some of the nastiest house where stuff was all the way to the ceiling, poop was all over the wall. Nobody wants to put that house on the open market for the friends, family, or neighbor to see. And some of them don't have the cash to rehab the property, fix it up. So they're sellers who don't want to list their property on the market. Now let's talk about being a real estate agent and how you can wholesale first. Sorry, I am like way ahead of my game. So all you need to do is, Mr. Thinker, just remind me. All you need to do is you just need to disclose to the seller. So let's just say you come and you meet a seller, okay? You just need to disclose to the seller that, hey, listen, I'm a real estate agent, but I'm also an investor. So you can present them with two options. So I think if you have a real estate license, it's actually benefit you. Now, once again, you don't need a license to wholesale, but if you already have a license, I only see that it's benefit, it doesn't hurt you. So you can come to the seller and you can present them with two options. You can say, Mr. Seller, right? We can list your property on the market, on the MLS, okay, for X amount and try to get you top dollar for it. But there's going to be a time. It might be 3 to 4 months until we can find a buyer that will pay us that much, right? So now it's time. It's going to take longer time. We can put it on there, right, to get the max for your property. If you don't want to do that and you just want to sell this thing and get it off your hands fast and don't have to deal with the repair costs of fixing the property up, and you know, you can explain to them all of this if they want to get max top dollar for their property, because they're a seller who don't want to fix up the property, who don't want to clean up their property, right? So you'll be like, if you just want to get it off your hand. Now I want to let you know that I'm also an investor. So which means I could technically just buy your property from you for X amount, but it's going to be a lot lower than this price here. So all you need to do is disclose with the seller, and it needs to be in your contract as well with it. I'm not representing the seller. Now listen, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm not giving you any legal advice. Please do your own research. I'm just sharing with you, right, what my mentor taught me, what I've learned in the game, and kind of what I think how it's done. It's up to you, all right, to do your own research. But all you need to do is disclose with the seller and say, hey, I am a real estate agent, but I'm not representing you in this transaction. I act as a real estate investor, and my goal is to buy this property for my own benefit gain. Something like that, okay? So that way the seller understands, okay? So you can tell the seller up front, you want to get max? We can list it for this. If you don't, then here's my cash offer to you. Now, Frank also sent me a voice text and say, hey, Khang, well, you know, I don't have the capital to buy. And this is something he doesn't understand. With wholesaling, there's no buying, there's no fixing. So you come in, you'll be like, hey, you know, my partner and I will buy this property for X amount, right? So which means you're going to lock the property on a contract for X amount. Typically, I want to lock it up for at least 30 to 60 days. And then at that contract, give you equitable interest, which means as a realtor, you can now still be able to wholesale that. You can still be able to find an investor and sell that contract over to them for a profit. Okay, are we clear? If you're a real estate agent, comment in the chat and let me know that you're clear. If you're clear, I am going to move on to the next phase of how you can actually make more money as a real estate agent. Okay, so let's move on to the next phase. So once again, all this is you just need to disclose to the seller that you're not representing them in this transaction because you act as an investor. Your whole thing is you're going to buy this thing for your own benefit, for your own gain. As long as they're good with that, they're good with the price, they're good with the term, and you have disclosed it, you should be able to wholesale that property. You should be able to wholesale it as a real estate agent. Okay, so now let me share with you how you can make more money as a real estate agent. Now, as a real estate agent, you see, now you can present them with two different strategies. You want this or you want this. I can buy from you for cheap and get this done your head fast, get this off your hand fast, or I can list the property for you whichever way that you want. Versus the one that don't have a license, they will have to refer it out, you know. So let's talk about how you can make more as a real estate agent. So Alyssa, you're a real estate agent. I'm glad that you made it here, Alyssa. So let's just say that you found a property, Okay? Let's just say that you found a property. And Alyssa, I hope that you don't make this mistake. If you do, then I'm so glad that you make it here, because I'm going to show you how to make more money than just the 3 or the 5% that you're getting. My whole thing is, as a real estate agent, we all know that these leads are hard to find and they're hard to get. So when you do find them, why would you only want to make 3 to 5% on them? Why wouldn't you want to make 10, 20, or 30%? Why wouldn't you want to make the max you can on this deal, but still leave some meat on the bone for the end buyer? Okay? So that's my whole thing. Let's maximize this deal. Make the most you can on it. So here's what it is. Okay? So as a real estate agent, you will come across a homeowner that don't want to list the property. They just want to cash from investor, quick closing, hassle-free, done. So what happened is most realtor, okay, property, they found the seller. What happened is that they would run to, let's just say that the seller don't want to list it, right? They just want to get a cash offer and get this thing off their book, but they don't want to sign a listing agreement with you. So what happened is this realtor that don't know about wholesaling, he or she will run to the investor, right? They'll run to the cash buyer that they have on their list. They said, hey, listen, I just found the seller. They're motivated to sell. They don't want to list their property, right? This is how much they want. Do you want to make an offer on it? And let's just say that the investor said, yeah, I would love to make an offer on that property. So the investor make an offer on that property. Let's just say it's for $300,000. Okay, $300,000. Out of $300,000, this agent's going to make 3%. Let's just say 3% on the commission. Okay, so let's see what that is. Okay, $300,000. Okay, minus 3%. That's a $9,000 commission, right? Which is not bad. That's a $9,000 commission. So Alyssa be like, hey, yay, right? She found the buyer, connected with the seller, made her 3%, made her $9,000. Now here is the mistake that Alyssa makes. Alyssa could have probably made a $25,000 on this exact same deal, and here's how, Alyssa. Are you ready? Ask me how I know. I have done multiple deals where a real estate, this is something we also call pocket listing. Pocket listing means before they put it on the MLS, before it gets exposed to other investors that you're competing with, since you built a relationship with Alyssa, this buyer, this buyer built a relationship with Alyssa. So Alyssa ran to the buyer and gave the buyer what's called a pocket listing. Before she listed, Bob doesn't have to compete with a bunch of other investors, right? So Bob loves it, right? And Alyssa run to the investors, and that's how she makes her commission, okay? But here's what Alyssa should do. Instead of running to your investor, so Alyssa, one time I had this, also what's called a pocket listing, right? This agent Alyssa, he ended up making $10,000 on this deal. Guess how much I made on it, Alyssa? I made $50,000 on it. I ended up giving him another $5,000. His name is Mike, right? I made $50,000. He made $10,000. I gave him another $5,000. You know what he could have made, Alyssa, if he know how to wholesale, which I'm going to show you? He could have made $25,000 on that exact same deal instead of just 50, instead of just 10. He could have made 25, and I could have made 25, right? Because he could. So let me show you. All right. So let me show you here. Okay. So this is a realtor. Okay. Now let me take a little commercial break. Okay. Let me take a little commercial break. So for those of you who's on this live with me, who haven't checked out my wholesaling real estate book, where I'll show you how to wholesale completely virtual, get rid of all the BS, and just get straight to the point. That's why this book is only 40-something pages long. You can probably get done through this book less than 1 hour, okay? And any chapter that you flip through is gold. There's no BS. So let's just say this, okay? Making offer. Show you how to make offer. Show you the formula, how to make offer. Next chapter, look at how to find motivated seller leads. Like everything gold mine right here, okay? If you want to grab the book, has over 500 stars on Amazon, thanks to you guys. So if you want to grab the book, just go to WTMbook.com. For anyone who gets the book, I'm also going to hook you up with 2 freebies. You get my ARV calculator and my rehab calculator included for free. If you already got the book, it would mean the world to me. If you can take some time, go to Amazon and drop me a review, I would greatly appreciate it, okay? So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on, okay? So here we go. So what Alyssa should have done is Alyssa should have acted as a buyer. Alyssa should have acted as a buyer and tell seller, maybe it's Susan. Say, hey, Susan, I'm interested in buying your property because I'm an investor myself. So, which means that Alyssa, the realtor, should have negotiated a deal with Susan. And let's just say that Alyssa was able to negotiate a deal with Susan for $275,000. Okay? $275,000. Now, Alyssa, the realtor, got this property under contract for $275,000. Now, Alyssa, you run to your buyer and you'll be like, hey, listen, I just got this property, right? You do not tell them that you got it for $275,000. You just tell your buyer, Bob, say, hey, Bob, I just got this property under contract for a really good deal. I was thinking about buying it, but I'm not in a position. My partner decided, that they want to buy something else. So, hey, I was wondering if you're interested in buying it. And obviously, Bob's like, yeah, how much? Alyssa like, well, you can buy for $300,000 and you're going to put $40,000 into it, right? $340 is probably going to worth about $525. So Bob's like, dude, that's a big spread, right? He'll be like, dude, there's a lot of money there for me. So Bob obviously say yes. So now Alyssa got under contract for $275,000, Alyssa. You just assign it to the buyer for $300,000. Now, Alyssa, instead of making that baby money, the 3 to 5%, Alyssa, you're now making, you call your own shot. You call your own shot of how much you want to make. Now you're making $25K instead on that exact same deal. Bam. And that is how you do it. Okay, that is how you do it. If you're an agent, this is how you maximize and make the most amount of money on your deal. Okay, so I got another commercial break. Alyssa and Sebastian's and everyone else that's on this live or watching this, I personally want to invite you into my school community that we just launched probably a week or 2 weeks ago. And I'll share with you exactly what you will get as a club member. Okay, so I'll put the link in my descriptions. This is for those of you who want to learn more about wholesaling, who wants to connect with me more. Also, too, is I want to bring you in a room, a club, and give you access to other real estate investors across the country. We got people in there who actually own some Airbnb, who also want to wholesale, who wants to build a second stream of wholesaling. We guess Alyssa, we got realtor in there, we got house flipper, we got landlord, we got Airbnb owner in there, we got new and experienced wholesaler that's also in the club as well. My whole goal is to bring you in the room, give you more access and teach you more about wholesaling. Not just that, but being able to give you access to other real estate investors across the country so we all can connect, mass network, mastermind, learn, and earn together. This is a great club, especially for those of you who wants to stay ahead of the curve, who wants to, stay ahead of the game, and who wants to know, right? Because in there, I'm going to share with you some of the tips, tricks, hacks, secret, and strategies that we're currently using in today's market. But you're not going to just learn it from me, but other investor as well. Because that's what this is about. We all can learn from each other. We share what's working so you can start implementing whatever that is. Okay? And so giving you access. So let's just say Sebastian's on here, Alyssa's on here, Saint is on here, some other is on here as well. But after my live stream is over, you lost connection with each other. But this club will bring you all into one room, right? So we can learn and earn together. All right. So in there, we're now as a community, we're sharing an AI software that I have not shared on social media. So everything that is new, it's going to be shared on there first to the club member. It costs you, Alyssa, less than $2 Starbucks, and it gives you 1 month access. It's a month-to-month subscription, right? But less than $2 Starbucks. It gives you access to the knowledge and the connection. And imagine if you can get one piece of information or one connection a month, just in 1 month. one piece that can change your business, that can help you make a little bit more money, that can help you close a deal. What is that worth? Sometimes only one piece of information, only one connection, that's all you need a month. And it's less than 2 Starbucks coffee, okay? Less than your 1 hour. You take 1 hour of your time, pay for it, you get the whole entire month of knowledge, information, and connection with other investors. So here's what I'm going to give you as a club member. Now, once we currently have 75 people, once we hit 100 people, some of these perks, some of these free will be taken away. So first off, you will get my wholesaling contract completely for free. This is the exact contract that all of my students gets. This is the contract that we've been using for the past 12 years to make millions of dollars. I put all the contingent. I pay so much money for the attorney to write this contract, to put all the contingent in there for me to protect me as a wholesaler so I can back out the deal anytime that I want to, okay? I'll give you the contract so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I'll give you the contract. Should work in any city, any state, but please, I'm not giving you any legal advice. You can always check with your title company, have them review it, or your attorney review it, okay? I'll also give you the JV contract. Tina, welcome to the live. I'll also give you the JV contract if you want to do joint venture with other wholesalers. You want to make sure that you protect yourself and get paid when you bring the buyer to the table. So I'll give you the JV contract all for free. The next thing I'm going to give you for free as a club member, and you only two. Okay, here's what you're going to get. I'm trying to build this community because I love it so much. Now, why is it pay and it's not free? I will also explain. Okay, so I'll also give you my script. Okay, my script that I charge $595 for free. I also will give you 100 hours of cold call tips that you can listen to for free. I also give you 300 seller objections that was given to me by another real estate badass, which is a buddy of mine. He also a 7-figure real estate wholesaler. Badass. That 300 seller objection will show you how to handle any seller objections that you ever come across for free. And guess what? Today, I woke up very early. I went in and I did a free course. The course that I'm doing is I'll show you how to customize and pull your motivated seller leads step by step that I will charge $395 for, and I'll give you that also completed for free if you become a club member. But once again, first come, first serve. The first 100 people, this perk will stay, but I think eventually when I hit 100, the price will go up. So if that sounds like something you're like, Khang, dude, that is so much for 2 Starbucks coffee. Let's go, baby. My goal is that I want to bring you in, but you are going to stay. You ain't going anywhere because the amount of information that we provided as a club, not just me, but from all the other members, they share what's working, right? What's not working, right? So dude, which is the goal is to get you in, and then you stay because there's so much value. But by leaving, it's just going to cost you money. That's it. Okay. So if that's you, you're like, Khang, dude, that's me. I'm ready to rock and roll with you. The link is in my descriptions. Now, listen, my whole thing is, I believe that when people have skin in the game, they're much more serious about, their growth. They're much more serious about, building their real estate business. They're building their real estate empire. When people have skin in the game in something, they're just more locked in, much more focused. Because I'm not looking for window shopper. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not looking for another window shopper platform free. I'm looking for people who is ready to shop. Shop for deals, shop for connection, shop for relationship, and shop for knowledge or information that they can implement and execute for less than 2 Starbucks coffee. Anyways, once again, that's what I got to say. The link is in the descriptions. For those of you who's going to join me in the Wholesale to Million Club, which is my school community, I look forward to seeing you in there. Make sure you go in there and make sure you introduce yourself. I don't know why a lot of you are so shy. Just introduce yourself. Alyssa, if I don't know you're a real estate agent, If you got a house flip in there that's looking to list their property and they want to connect with a club member that they can trust, maybe they're out of state house flipper. So you need to introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Alyssa. I'm from California, San Diego, wherever you're from. Hey, I'm a real estate agent. I'm also looking to wholesale, but I'm here to provide value, right? And here's what I want to get from the group, right? I'm looking to learn how to wholesale. My whole thing is I'm an agent. So you want to connect with me, you know, or whatever I can help to run deals, run comps for you, whatever it is. And that's what it's about. So once again, if nobody knows what you do, what you offer, and what you want, how can we do business together? So make sure when you go in, introduce yourself, maximize that community to your benefit. All right. Once again, thank you so much. I appreciate each and every single one of you that's here. I truly hope that this video added a tremendous amount of value to you. And once again, if you decided to come in, join me in the club, I look forward to seeing you on the inside. And let's go get this money. I'm out. Have a good one. Bye.